Dead or Alive is a long-running fighting game series. And, well, yeah, fighting game series are all long-running. Dead or Alive just happens to be the most notorious for its sexy female characters. Yeah, I said sexy female characters. Guess what we're drawing today? Greetings all, my name is Kontrol. I'm a professional artist and a huge fan of classic Marvel and DC comics. You're watching the latest in a series of gaming pinups, so if you like what you see, think about hitting the like button on your way out and subscribe for more. This is big, folks. Dead or Alive has finally arrived. One of my all-time favorites and the one fighting game I can absolutely remember the moment I was introduced to it. I'll set the scene. The year is 1998. A very young Kontrol is engaging in one of his very favorite pre-internet pastimes, reading a gaming magazine. Can't quite remember which one, but they were all indispensable at the time for gamers. Anyway, I stumbled upon this beautiful ad. There she was, an exquisite 3D rendering of a girl from an unreleased game I'd never heard of but was guaranteed to own as soon as I got my hands on it. The ad was nothing but the girl, the tagline, "She'll kick your butt at E3 and beyond," and the name of the game. But the art was so stunning, a purchase was obviously mandatory. I mean, fighting games were also my jam back then. And I know you've heard me say that a million times, right, Mello? Mello? That's weird. Sorry about this, YouTube. This should just be a moment.
Hey, whoa.
There you are.
Hey, Kontrol. What's up?
What's up? I'm recording. Usually that gets you in the room faster than the sound of a can opener.
Oh, well, you said you were drawing Dead or Alive, and according to Polygon, the game is full of raunchy, sexualized characters. You told me to stay away from internet smut, right?
Yeah, I also told you to stay away from Polygon.
So I can watch you draw like usual?
Yes, Mello. I never ever draw smut.
Yeah, you're not the kind of guy
When it's so much faster to just download it. Booyah! Oh no, I said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet.
Whoa, check out the old magazine ad.
Yes, I was talking about my introduction to the very first Dead or Alive game. When it finally came out for the PlayStation 1, I discovered a game that at a glance looked like a very polished clone of Virtua Fighter. I hated Virtua Fighter. On the plus side, I was at least comfortable playing Dead or Alive because unlike Virtua Fighter, it used the tried and true hold back to block functionality of Street Fighter and Tekken. What really took getting used to was Dead or Alive's now famous rock, paper, scissors combat mechanics. See, you could block like any other fighting game, but using countering, or hold as it's called, is an absolute necessity for winning. Tekken players were already familiar with the use of counter by very specific characters. In DOA, all characters can counter, with an unusually wide window of success. This meant that players trying to overpower opponents by spamming attacks could instantly and easily be neutralized with hold counters. On the other hand, counters were extremely vulnerable to throws, so relying too much on your counter ability would make you an easy target for the throw. Obviously, you can't throw all day and night either, because pretty much every punch and kick in the game neutralizes the throw. So DOA encourages players to pay specific attention to how their opponent approaches combat moment to moment. You have to gauge when attack, throw, block, or counter is the best option. Simply overpowering foes with devastating combos will not work for very long. I happen to love the original DOA for PlayStation, but looking back you get the feeling it was ultimately just a proof of concept for what came next, because Dead or Alive 2 is when the series really started looking like a true rival to the best of the best.
Well, duh, it's a fighting game, right?
Huh?
Look at Street Fighter, Soul Edge, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom. Fighting games always wait until the second game to get good. First game in the series is just learning the ropes.
I see.
Sort of like the first 100 videos on this channel.
Enough! DOA 2 was a launch title for the next-gen Sega Dreamcast in 2000. Back in those days, next gen meant a huge leap in game graphics, and Dead or Alive 2's graphics were matched only by Capcom's mighty Soul Calibur, which launched right alongside it, if I remember correctly. DOA 2 introduced the trademark interactive level design, Featuring breakable walls and floors fighters could be smashed through. To be honest, Tekken wasn't nearly as good at dealing with walled arenas until many years later.
What about Lei Fang? Isn't that who you're drawing right now? With an unusual level of attention to her form.
I'm not sure what you're implying, but yes, I was just about to say Dead or Alive 2 introduced Lei Fang's iconic Chinese red dress, which has appeared with slight alterations here and there in every Dead or Alive game since. Lei Fang is of course the featured character in that Tecmo magazine ad I was gushing over earlier. I immediately fell in love with her elegant fighting style and smooth little idle animation. Her chain throws are also some of the
Whoa,
most...
would you look at that? A huge elephant is in the room.
I take it you think I'm ignoring Dead or Alive's reputation for delivering fan service, for want of a better...
Boobs!
Okay, yes, the women in Dead or Alive are presented and designed with a healthy dose of sex appeal, and yes, their breasts move a bit. Hilariously more so in the PS1 version than in any game in the series since. Yeah, those bad boys have their own agenda. But it seems to me the jiggle has for the most part been well within the realms of realism, given the ever-present scourge of gravity, and I'm endlessly amused that Tecmo and Team Ninja created spin-off games specifically to show off their ladies partying at the beach in bikinis.
Tip: if your cousin has a copy of Extreme Volleyball, don't touch his controller.
Now, while the graphics have been hit or miss since the high water mark of Dead or Alive 3, I personally find Tecmo's art style to be really beautiful. I much prefer the DOA style of rendering women to the sometimes bulky Street Fighter and Tekken chicks. This is obviously a subjective reading, but suffice to say that Dead or Alive girls come closest to the way I try to draw women. That is my default. Draw a standard pretty girl here. Every comic book style artist has a default pretty girl we can draw in our sleep. While sketching up Lei Fang here, I attempted to make her face match the current in-game render a bit more. I made her limbs slightly less slender than my default and breast size slightly bigger. How successful does it all come together in the end? How should I know? Let me know in the comments, and if you have a favorite character from a game you'd like to see me tackle on the channel, let me know that too. Last week's epic One Piece drawing was purely the result of a viewer request. So yeah, it can pay off to just ask for what you want. Which is why I end every video by saying subscribe to the channel. Last time I checked it was free. Hit the bell icon so you know every time a new video goes up. And if you're already a friend of the channel, check and make sure you're still subbed, because YouTube likes to make sport of just plucking subs off the channel randomly, at least once a week. I wish they'd get a new hobby, but what are you gonna do? Thanks for watching, and making it to the end. How about that?